Gadadara Shivasade Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 26, Text 3, where Lord Kapila is continuing to give the divine knowledge to Mother Devahuti. Anadir Atma Purusho Nirgunaha Prakrite Paraha Pratyak Dhama Swayam Jyotihi Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Soul, and He has no beginning. He is transcendental to the material modes of nature and beyond the existence of this material world. He is perceivable everywhere because He is self-effulgent, and by His self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is maintained. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as being without beginning. He is Purusha, the Supreme Spirit. Purusha means person. When we think of a person in our present experience, that person has a beginning. This means that he has taken birth and that there is a history from the beginning of his life. But the Lord is particularly mentioned here as Anadi, beginningless. If we examine all persons, we will find that everyone has a beginning. But when we approach a person who has no beginning, he's a supreme person. That is the definition given in the Brahmasamaita, Ishvara Parama Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, the Supreme Controller. He's without beginning, and he's the beginning of everyone. This definition is found in all Vedic literatures. So Lord Kapila Dev, he's saying about the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Lord is beginningless. You know, if we do research, we ask, oh, how old are you? Just to try to understand that, oh, when did we come into this body? Oh, how old is he? How old is she? How old am I? So whoever we see has a beginning in this material world. Everyone. But if we do research work, when we come to the Supreme Person, he has no beginning. He always exists. He has no beginning. In our mind, we can't imagine something which has no beginning. Why? Because our mind is material. So it's used to something having a start date and a finish date. And so when you say someone always exists, we are like, oh, how can that be possible? But it's the truth. All Vedic literatures are telling that. Lord Brahma in his Brahmasamaita is saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, the Supreme Controller. Anadir Adir Govinda, beginningless. The Lord is described as the soul or spirit. What is the definition of spirit? Spirit is perceivable everywhere. Brahman means great. His greatness is perceived everywhere. And what is that greatness? Consciousness. We have personal experience of consciousness, for it is spread all over the body. In every hair follicle of our body, we can feel consciousness. So we are conscious. You know, if we pinch, if I say, no, I'm not conscious. But if I pinch my hand, I feel it. I feel this consciousness is there. I can feel if I'm, somebody hurts my hand or something because of the consciousness. So I am inside this body and my consciousness is spread throughout this body that I am inside. This is individual consciousness. Similarly, there is super consciousness. The example can be given of a small light and the sunlight. The sunlight is perceived everywhere, even within the room or in the sky, but the small light is experienced within a specific limit. So Prabhupada is giving a nice example. You know, we have a light bulb. That light it can light up only a small area. But the sunlight, it's lighting up the whole universe. So similarly, our consciousness is perceived within the limit of our particular body. But the superconsciousness or the existence of God is perceived everywhere. So we can't say that I'm supremely conscious. We can't. If your hand gets hurt, I can't feel it. I can't feel. Only you can feel. Why? Because you are in your body. So your consciousness is limited to your body, and my consciousness is limited to my body. But God's consciousness, super consciousness, is everywhere. Everywhere. He is present everywhere by his energy. It is stated in the Vishnu Puran that whatever we find, anywhere and everywhere, is the distribution of the energy of the Supreme Lord. So when we say the Lord is omnipresent, we say he's omnipresent, right? Lord is omnipresent, he's omniscient. What does that mean? That he's present everywhere, that he's super conscious. He's conscious of everything and everyone. In Bhagavad Gita also, it is confirmed that the Lord is all-pervading and exists everywhere by his two kinds of energy, one spiritual and the other material. So Krishna's energy, this material world is also his energy. The elements, he's the one who's creating it. And the spiritual is we, the living entities. So this entire material world, what we are seeing, is Krishna's material energy and Krishna's superior energy everywhere. And both these energies belong to God. The material energy belongs to Krishna. We, the superior energy, belong to Krishna. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that this, he says for the material energy, she is my energy, she's working under my direction. And for the living entities, he says, we are his fragmental parts and parcels. So the existence of consciousness everywhere is not temporary. It is without beginning. And because it is without beginning, it is also without end. So in our material experience, everything has a beginning. And because it has a beginning, it has to have an end. It has to have, something has a manufacture date, it will have an expiry date. We have a birth date and we will have a death date also. But consciousness, the existence of consciousness everywhere is not temporary. The consciousness is permanent. Consciousness is permanent. The theory that consciousness develops at a certain stage of material combination is not accepted herein, for the consciousness which exists everywhere is said to be without beginning. So the soul, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also that the soul is always existing. It's not that the soul came into being at a particular time. No, he says it is primeval, beginningless. What's that? Aja Nityam. I'm forgetting that it is without beginning. It is eternal. It is unborn. So the consciousness always exists. It's not that the consciousness is developed under certain material conditions. No, then we are thinking we are the matter. Then we are thinking that the soul is material. But the soul is not material. The materialistic or atheistic theory stating that there is no soul, that there is no God, and that consciousness is the result of a combination of matter is not acceptable. Matter is not beginningless. It has a beginning. As this material body has a beginning, the universal body also. And as our material body has begun on the basis of our soul, the entire gigantic universal body has begun on the basis of the Supreme Soul. So this material body develops because we, the soul, are inside the body. That's how from a baby body, we got to a child's body, then we got like a young person, so the body is been developing. Why? Because we, the soul, are inside the body. Similarly, the entire material creation The entire material creation is existing because of the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul is there. The Paramatma is there. That's the reason this entire material cosmic manifestation exists. The Vedanta Sutra says, Janmadi Asya. This entire material exhibition, its creation, its growth, its maintenance, and its dissolution is an emanation from the Supreme Person. In Bhagavad Gita also, the Lord says, I'm the beginning, the source of birth of everything. So where is everything coming from? Where is everyone coming from? Everything and everyone is coming from the Supreme Lord. Everything and everyone is the energy of the Supreme Lord. He is spread everywhere as the Brahman effulgence. That is Krishna's impersonal feature. He says, I'm the fragrance of the earth, I'm the taste of water. That is Krishna's impersonal feature. Then he's entered into every atom of every universe. That's his Paramatma feature. And where is all this coming from? Him, from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's his Bhagwan feature. Is it okay till now?
Yes.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described here. He's not a temporary person, nor does he have a beginning. He's without a cause, and he's the cause of all causes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not a temporary person, nor does he have a beginning. He's without a cause, and he's the cause of all causes. So he's eternal, always existing. If we think that God is not eternal, then we think that God is dead. Then that's atheism. So he's always existing, always. He's the cause of all causes, sarva karana karanam. He's the origin of everything, of everyone. Paraha means transcendental, beyond the creative energy. The Lord is the creator of the creative energy. We can see that there is a creative energy in the material world, but he is not under this energy. He is Prakriti Paraha, beyond this energy. So Krishna, he's created this material world, but he's not under the laws of the material world. Again, the example that Prabhupada would give of the prison and king. The king, he is making the prison. The prison is a part of his kingdom. But it doesn't mean that when the king is going to visit the prison, he has become a prisoner. No, he can go visit the prison and come out as he likes. That is the position of Krishna and in this material world. He can come and go as he likes. It is his. It's like, for example, we are sitting in our house and there are different rooms in our house. No one can stop us to go from one room to another. No one will say, oh, why are you entering this room? You'll say, why not? It's mine. So like that. So Krishna, he is not subjected to the threefold miseries created by the material energy because he is beyond it. We are subjected to the threefold miseries. The threefold miseries that, does anyone remember what are the threefold miseries?
Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik.
Yeah, and what do they mean?
They mean that the miseries that they are caused by your own body, then the miseries that are caused by the others to you, and then the miseries that is caused by the nature.
Yeah, thank you. Own body and mind also.
Okay. Own body,
So
mind.
that is we. We are under this. Why? Because we are inside a material body. So we are subjected to the laws of the material world. But Krishna, no, he is not subjected to the laws of the material world. He does not have this threefold miseries affecting him. The modes of nature do not touch him. Goodness, passion, and ignorance They don't touch him. His activities are transcendental. They're not under the modes of nature. Our activities are under the modes of nature because we are inside a material body. It is explained here, Swayam Jyotihi. He is light himself. So, okay, there is light. So where is this light coming from? Where is this light coming from? Where's the origin of all light?
Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we have experience in the material world that one lights being a reflection of another, just as moonlight is a reflection of the sunlight. Sunlight is also the reflection of the Brahma Jyoti. Similarly, Brahma Jyoti, the spiritual effulgence, is a reflection of the body of the Supreme Lord. This is confirmed in the Brahmasamaita, Yasya Prabha Prabhavataha. The Brahma Jyoti or Brahman effulgence is due to his bodily luster. Therefore, it is said here, Swayam Jyotihi, he himself is light. So, the Brahma Jyoti, that is Krishna. That is his feature as light. That's himself. His light is distributed in different ways as the Brahma Jyoti, as sunlight, and as moonlight. He says, I'm the light of the sun and moon. He says in the Bhagavad Gita that I am the light of the sun and moon. That is his impersonal feature, his feature as the light. Bhagavad Gita confirms that in the spiritual world, there is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or electricity. The Upanishads also confirm this because the bodily luster of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sufficient to illuminate the spiritual world. There is no need of sunlight, moonlight, or any other light or electricity. So this material world is dark. When we go outside the earth, the space is very dark. But in the spiritual world, all bright, is full of life, full of variety, is light there. Why? Because this light is coming from the body of Krishna himself. His body is so shining that it's lighting up the entire material and spiritual worlds. This self-illumination also contradicts the theory that the spirit soul or the spiritual consciousness develops at a certain point in material combination. The term Swayam Jyotihi indicates that there is no tinge of anything material or any material reaction. It is confirmed here that the concept of the Lord's all-pervasiveness is due to his illumination everywhere. So how is Krishna his all-pervasive feature? His light is spread everywhere. Everything is situated on the Brahman, the spiritual world, the material world. Brahman is spread, is unlimited. The Brahma Jyoti, it is unlimited. This material world is also situated on the Brahman, in the Brahma Jyoti. Just one part is, there's a dark cloud put there. The Mahatattva is put there. Just like the prison is also within the country. It's within the jurisdiction of the country. It's not outside the country. It is within the country. Similarly, this material world is also situated on the Brahman. So Krishna is present everywhere, everywhere, all pervasive. We have experienced that the sun is situated in one place, but the sunlight is diffused all around for millions and millions of miles. So the sunlight, because Krishna is saying, I am the light of the sun and moon. And where is this light of sun and moon coming from? This light is coming from the Brahma Jyoti, and the Brahma Jyoti is Krishna. So Krishna is present everywhere by his illumination. Similarly, although the supreme light is situated in his personal abode, Vaikuntha or Vrindavan, his light is diffused not only in the spiritual world, but beyond that. In the material world also, that light is reflected by the sun glow, and the sunlight is reflected by the moon glow. Thus, although he is situated in his own abode, his light is distributed all over the spiritual and material worlds. So Krishna, he himself is sitting in Vaikuntha. But this light which is coming from his body, that is spreading everywhere. in the spiritual world and in the material world. The Brahmasamaita 5.37 confirms this. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhutaha. He's living in Goloka, but still he's present all over the creation. He's the super soul of everything, the supreme personality of Godhead, and he has innumerable transcendental qualities. So Brahmasamhita, Brahmaji is saying that Krishna is living in Goloka Vrindavan. If anyone asks what's the address of the Supreme Lord, his address is Goloka Vrindavan, in the Vaikuntha world. That is where Shamsundar is living. But still he's present everywhere. How? He's the super soul. He's the Paramatma. He's Paramatma. And he has innumerable transcendental qualities. So it's not that God has no qualities. God has unlimited qualities and they are all transcendental, not material. We think quality means material. No, the true quality is spiritual. Material is just a perverted reflection. It's a perverted reflection of the original truth. It is also concluded that although he's undoubtedly a person, he is not a Purusha of this material world. So when we say Purusha, we mean a person. So he is the supreme person, but he's not material. He's not material. His body is not made of matter. There is no difference between his body and soul. Right now, we have a difference of body and soul, but not Krishna. Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand that beyond this material world, there can be a person. Therefore, they are impersonalists. But it is explained very nicely here that the personality of Godhead is beyond material existence. So it's not that that the person can only be here in the material world and that beyond this material world is only light. No, but if we see where is this light coming from, the light is coming from the body of Krishna. The Supreme Lord, he is a person, and this light, the Brahma Jyoti, is coming from his body. So the Vedas are telling us, yes, that there can be a person in the spiritual world also. And because there is a person in the spiritual world, from him everything has begun. From him everything has started. And he is the original person. Origin of everything. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Very nicely and deeply, like everything is covered about Lord. Like if doubts are there, then they are cleared. Very nicely.
Yeah, this was very nice. This verse, even I was thinking, is very nicely
It's very
explained.
important. Like all the features are covered. So like that means that Kapila Muni was telling in quite detail to Devahuti, Mother Devahuti. Quite detailed,
Yeah.
because all the doubts get cleared that someone might think that he's light only.
Yeah.
But yes, he is light. Yes, he is light. But he's also the Paramatma feature. Also, like very nicely explained, like the Paramatma feature also very nicely explained.
Yes. And that he is also the Supreme Person.
Supreme Personal, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
good.
nicely. Like I think this is one of the important, like if we have any doubts anytime, we can read back this one.
Yeah, 626.3, 326.3.
Yeah. Very nice.
And Krishna says that, he says that just try to understand why so much detail is given about Krishna, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you just try to understand my transcendental appearance and activities. And you just understand this and you don't need to come back to this material world again. So we just try to understand. Even though we are not able to understand, we can pray to Krishna. My dear Krishna, I don't know what you're saying, but please help me to understand. your transcendental nature, your transcendental activities, because he's saying you understand this and you go back home, back to Godhead. No need to come back here. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Did anyone want to add anything else?
Just one thing, that how beautiful it is that even if we are trying to understand, is good. Like just his appearance and his leelas, his form, his appearance, disappearance, his energies, everything or anything about him we try to understand, and there is a benediction behind it.
Yes. Yes.
So how merciful, like as you say that, yes, he is a cause of all causes, but he's the most merciful, most merciful.
Yeah, it's true. It's the most merciful. Thank you.
And just by understanding it is bhakti, no? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that it is, that's what it is. Yeah.
By hearing about Krishna's bhakti.
Yeah, so that's bhakti, which we are trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.